This is the morning video update. This is for Wednesday, the 14th of June. I'm James Spann. We have an unusually active weather day coming up for Alabama with multiple rounds of strong to severe thunderstorms likely, and there's actually a tornado threat for parts of the state that is extremely unusual for the middle part of June with no tropical system involved. Let's go right to the radar early this morning, and I'm doing this update live at 5:19 a.m., and you can see we already have strong storms in progress over parts of the state, in some cases producing some hail and strong gusty winds, a lot of cloud-to-ground lightning, very vivid lightning displays. Earlier, we had a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for parts of Coosa and Elmore counties. Those storms are now running from near Eclectic over to Lake Martin, and then back into parts of southern Chambers County over toward Lynette and Valley. Some small hail is likely falling there. Again, the lightning show is nonstop, but they're under classic severe limits at this point. But again, that is a very rude wake-up call. Other strong storms are over Bibb and Tuscaloosa counties, then back into parts of Fayette County. And again, the lightning is almost continuous. There could be some small hail, strong gusty winds, but as noisy as these storms are, they are under the traditional severe limits early this morning. For those that are dealing with that, we've got in the Birmingham metro, the heaviest rain is falling across the southern part of the metro. And then the storms extend back into Lamar County, probably some small hail falling just south of Vernon. So again, it's a pretty rough way to start the day here, and it's very anomalous for June. Typically, we see the random scattered afternoon storms this time of the year, but these are packing quite a punch. And again, we'll check the radar again before we go. But let's talk about what's to come later today. And here's the setup. There's this upper low that's a little east of Detroit. And underneath that, we have a band of very strong winds aloft. We just rarely ever see that in June. But again, if you notice on the radar, the storms are moving really quickly. That looks more like a March or April radar display, and that's because of the stronger winds aloft undercutting that deep upper low. That's the regional radar composite, and you can see the storms extend back into parts of Mississippi, Arkansas, and Louisiana. We got mostly upper 60s, low to mid 70s to start the day. Mobile, a balmy 79. Now, one of the hazards is the potential for flooding. We have a flash flood watch in effect today for about the southern two-thirds of the state, basically from Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, Sylacauga, Ashland, Roanoke South. The counties there in green. And we're going to see a lot of rain over the next 7 days. So here's the bigger picture, and really the most active weather is here. We do note we have severe thunderstorm watches west of the state for parts of Mississippi, Louisiana, Arkansas, Oklahoma. Heat advisories for parts of Texas where a heat bubble is developing. So we now have a level 4 out of 5 severe weather risk. That is a moderate risk today for parts of central and south Alabama, the areas in red on that map. And goodness, I can't recall the last time we've had a level 4 out of 5 risk on a June day here. I just can't. But this would include areas south of a line from near Utah, Greensboro, Verbena, and Auburn, south down toward the Florida state line. But the whole state is in some type of risk. Understand that. We always encourage people, don't get too focused on these colors and risk areas, but that is pretty meaningful. So let's look at the probabilistic outlooks. And I'll take myself off the screen so you can see the legend there. This is the chance of a tornado today within 25 miles of a given point. And you can see that the higher probabilities are over parts of east and southeast Alabama. And there's actually a hatched area there. That means that there could be a significant tornado, and by definition, that is EF2 or higher. And again, this is very unusual for June. But that higher circle there, the 10 to 14% circle, includes places like Prattville, Montgomery, Greenville, Luverne, Troy, Tuskegee, Auburn, Opelika, Eufaula. And so we'll kind of focus on that area in terms of the tornado threat today, but there could be a brief isolated tornado in those other areas as well. And this is interesting. This is the chance of damaging wind, and by severe wind, the definition is 58 miles an hour or greater. And within the moderate risk area, we now have a 45 to 55% chance of damaging wind within 25 miles of a given point in that moderate risk area. And again, you see the hatched area there. That means that we could see significant wind gusts, maybe to 74 miles an hour. That's hurricane force with the stronger storms. And on top of that, we have the chance of large hail. And again, so it's going to be a very active day today. And then tomorrow, the better chance of any severe storms shifting down into the southern third of the state. Friday would be a drier day, and I do think it will be drier, but if storms form, they could be fairly strong. And then Saturday, we have a risk over parts of the southern plain states, and on Sunday, which is day 5, we have a risk of severe storms kind of nosing into northwest Alabama. So again, a very active, unsettled pattern here for a while, and this is the rain for the next 7 days, and the numbers keep on rising. You can see that's 9.0 inches for Dothan. And we can see maps like this in summer, but almost always it involves a hurricane or a tropical storm, and there's nothing like that now. So potential for some really big-time rain totals over the next 7 days. For the Tennessee Valley, the amount's closer to 2 inches, Birmingham 4 inches, Montgomery almost 8 inches. And of course, this is just a forecast. Your number could vary. But the tropics are quiet. That's one place where things are kind of calm. But model fans, let's look at the modeling here. This is the GFS. This is the 06Z run, valid today at 4. And you can see the upper low is moving over into New York and Pennsylvania, and we'll obviously see a number of showers and thunderstorms around. This is the significant tornado parameter, valid this evening at 6 o'clock, and you can see the higher numbers are over the southern half of the state. But again, this is the tornado probabilistic outlook from SPC, and we'll kind of focus on that hatched area you see there. So again, if you are in really anywhere in the state, obviously pay close attention to severe weather warnings today if they're needed, but especially over the central and southern counties. So tomorrow, same thing, scattered to numerous showers and thunderstorms around. And again, storms could be strong. We don't expect a tornado threat tomorrow. And then Friday, we do note evidence of drier air for the northern half of the state, but again, we're going to have to bring in the chance of at least scattered storms, and where they do form, they could be strong. So what about the weekend? This is Saturday, and again, things should be calmer this weekend, at least Saturday. This is suggesting the better chance of scattered storms over the southern half of the state, but then Sunday, the moisture surges northward again. There's a surface low that's southeast of St. Louis, and that could bring some strong storms on Sunday. And then Monday, that surface low is near Knoxville, Tennessee. Again, a few scattered storms. And Tuesday, better chance of storms over the northern part of the state. And this is a week from today, Wednesday the 21st. We've got troughing to the east. And again, the higher coverage of showers and storms over the eastern two-thirds of the state, if this verifies. Let's go out 10 days. This is Friday the 23rd of June. We still have troughing to the east, and that looks fairly quiet. So hopefully, at least toward the latter part of next week, things will calm down. This is rain for Birmingham coming off the European ensemble. The mean is about 5 inches between now and the 29th of June. Temperatures way below average today and tomorrow because of clouds and rain, low 80s, and then numbers come up to the upper 80s to near 90 for the weekend and much of next week, but no sign of any excessively hot weather here. And the latest guidance for June 21st through June 27th, the 8 to 14-day outlook, temperatures may be a little above average. So quickly, a peek at what it's looked like across parts of Alabama early this morning. And again, the lightning display has been very impressive, especially if you're up close. In fact, here's kind of a closer look at the situation in North Chilton County earlier this morning. This video was taken near Jemison, just basically continuous lightning. Quite the show. And of course, underneath these heavier storms, the rain is just pouring down. And again, there's some small hail involved. In fact, this is a look at some of the hail that came down earlier this morning over parts of Chilton and Coosa County. So let's go back to the radar here. And again, if you're just joining us, we are live at 5:29 a.m., the insane hour of 5:29 on Wednesday, June the 14th. And as I am talking to you live, and we're simulcasting this live on Facebook and YouTube, we have no active warnings in effect for the state. We did have one severe thunderstorm warning earlier this morning for parts of Coosa and Elmore counties. Heaviest rain in multiple bands. This is one band from Lake Martin over to southern Chambers County. Probably some hail falling on the Alabama-Georgia state line just south of Valley. But again, the lightning is very vivid and very intense. And there could be some small hail, strong gusty winds. But at the moment, they're under traditional severe limits. And you can see other strong storms curving up through parts of Chilton, Bibb, Shelby, Jefferson, Tuscaloosa, Fayette, and Lamar counties. Probably some hail falling in that storm to the south of Vernon, north of Millport. And again, the morning activity will probably settle down temporarily, but we're just going to see these multiple rounds of thunderstorms today. And again, all hazards are possible. It will be more like a springtime day, quite frankly, in terms of sensible weather. And again, if you missed it, we've got a level 4 out of 5 moderate risk of severe storms today for parts of central and south Alabama. This would include places like Demopolis, Grove Hill, Selma, Montgomery, Monroeville, Greenville, Luverne, Troy, Auburn, Opelika, Eufaula, Andalusia, Ozark, Dothan. But understand the whole state has some risk defined today. And in terms of the tornado threat, the better chance will come later today with the rounds that develop this afternoon and this evening. In the probabilistic outlook you're seeing here, the higher chance of a tornado would be through parts of central, south, and southeast Alabama. Again, in that hatched area. And when you see a hatched area on these maps, that means that there's a chance of a significant tornado. And by National Weather Service definition, that is EF2 or higher. And that is just so odd for this time of the year. I've been doing this since World War I, and I just can't recall the time we've had this type of risk on a June day without a tropical system involved. And even with one involved, it's very odd to see a hatched area in a tornado outlook like that. But understand, we have the other hazards in play as well. Again, damaging wind. Basically a 50-50 chance of damaging wind within 25 miles of a given point in that moderate risk area, and also the chance of some pretty large hail falling today. So needless to say, be sure you can hear severe weather warnings if they're needed, and just kind of dust off your tornado plan, which tornado season here is November through May. This is an out-of-season threat, but you know the drill. Know your safe place. In that safe place, helmets for everybody. We like for people to have hard-soled shoes, and, of course, a little portable air horn if you need help. And just we don't want folks driving. And again, I have a gazillion questions about driving today, and I don't like to give specific advice. Everybody has a different risk tolerance level for driving in rain and storms, everybody. And so I just can't answer that. And there's no really specific time today. That's the thing. People want to know an ETA for their specific location. We're going to see just these rounds of storms off and on through the day today. Certainly not raining all day, but we'll have multiple rounds through tonight. And again, just be weather aware today. So we'll have the next video update here, weather permitting, if we don't have any tornado warnings going on, by about 2:45 or 3 this afternoon. Notes are over on the blog. We'll write the blog post here shortly, alabamawx.com. And, of course, we do invite you to watch us on television this evening. That is ABC 3340 News at 4, 5, 6, and 10 o'clock. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Be safe. And